Thank you for joining me for today's Gaia Wisdom video blog.
Hey there. So this week we're going to talk about nature, and it's a subject that I talk about a lot. I talk about being connected to nature and living in nature, having that be a part of your everyday life in some way. But today specifically I want to talk about how nature can heal us. You know, so many times we feel this sense of overwhelm and stress in our lives, and nature can provide a very safe and wonderful environment for de-stressing ourselves. But there's something else that nature can do for us. And you know, I think when God or Spirit created the earth, He did so in a way that we could co-create a healthy ecosystem and relationship with one another. And so all around us we have plants and trees and elements of nature that are specifically meant for really beautiful healing, you know, both physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And when we can tap into that resource and really start to use nature in a way that we can co-create health for both nature and for ourselves, for Mother Earth and for our own physical body and our mental body, etc., then we have really accessed or garnered that innate and intuitive and intrinsic relationship that was probably meant to be all along. You know, you look at many cultures in the history of the indigenous tribes and things like that, they had a relationship with nature that was very beautiful and very synergistically felt. And you know, the Native Americans and in Druidry and different earth kind of based religions, you saw this relationship where they didn't just go out and harvest mindlessly different plants or even animals that were killed or hunted, that there was a respect and a reverence for that relationship. And so, you know, in Native American culture, if you take something from Mother Earth, you leave a pinch of tobacco or cornmeal or a way of something of gratitude. You give an offering back to Mother Earth. And in this week's meditation that I'm recording, you know, it's going to be about tapping into that plant medicine that is around us all the time. I'm sitting in this area where, I don't know if you can zero in, but there's these, it's called mountain stinging nettle. And if you know anything about stinging nettle, this will be, you know, you can be like, yeah, no duh, Dakota, I know all this. But stinging nettle is one of the most therapeutic plants that we have around us. And right now where I'm sitting, we have just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants of stinging nettle. And you know, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's a antihistamine, it helps you with hay fever, allergies, joint pain, arthritis, asthma, all these different therapeutic benefits of this one single plant. And you know, that's just one plant of 1,000, hundreds of millions of plants that we have here in our ecosystem that really have the potential to help heal us. And so when we create that relationship with the plants and with the trees and with the water and, you know, the different elements of earth, then we kind of open up our own little pharmacy. We open up that way of healing that a modern doctor, whether it's you know, I don't want to get into the whole, you know, how I feel about modern medicine. I certainly believe that it has its place. And I think there's a lot of value to it, but I think there's also a tremendous amount of value to tapping into the tools that we have right here around us. And whether you're living in the city or you're living in, you know, a place like where I'm at right now, it doesn't matter where you live, you always have access to some part of nature. Or you find somebody, you know, I'll list a couple of places at the end of this video of resources that I use for different herbs, of getting them organically and where they are harvested in a way that is very mindful. But there's always access to these tools, to these wonderful plant medicines. And so you want to have this relationship with Earth where you're not just taking. You know, last week I did the video blog on manifesting love, and I talked about how part of that love is how we create it with the earth, respecting the earth and having that relationship with Mother Gaia. And that is so vitally important when you start tapping into these energies, that you don't just take, but you also give. It's a give and take relationship. You love the earth, you have a respect for her, and in return she's going to give you these valuable gifts where you can heal yourself. So I would love for you to do a little research, find out what is going on in your life that may need some healing, and then call in some of that energy of the plant medicine, whether you actually go out and physically get the plant, or you call on the energy of the plant like we do in the meditation that I recorded, and use that energy to really facilitate a deep healing for yourself. And again, I'll list some resources for you to tap into at the end of this video. But I would also love to hear your comments below and how you use nature as a way of healing your soul or your physical body. And you know, let's all kind of create these little prescriptions that we can use in our own lives. I learn from you, you learn from me. That's the way it should be. You love Earth, Earth will love you back. Okay. I am going to go get some gloves, and I think I'm going to harvest some of this stinging nettle, because this is the prime time to be getting my stinging nettle. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.
Ega di wai bunta wat kawe kan hora dot kun yo ni dot tagi eka di ni ot nei wali respect to our home, the earth. We say thank you to the earth for everything that she gives to us, nourishing us every day. We give thanks to all the water in the world, everything within that water. We give thanks to all the grass that lives on the land. We give thanks to all the berries, the fruits, the medicines. We give thanks to the animals that keep the forest clean. We give thanks to all the trees for the different uses that they give to us. Our shelters, the fires that we make in the winter time, keeping us warm. We give thanks to the birds who sing their beautiful sounds. We give thanks to the four winds. We give thanks to the grandfathers, the ones that brings the rain. And we give thanks to our oldest brother, the sun, who shines his light every day. We give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, for she is the one that has been charged with the duty to make sure that light has a continuance. She is the one that watches over all the movements of the water and also the water within us. We give thanks to the stars, her helper, and we give a special thanksgiving to the four sacred beings that watch over the human family. Sometimes we notice them when we are traveling in dangerous places. They are the ones that come to our minds and say, go around, don't go any further. so that's what we're there for, to protect us, steer us away from danger. And so that's what we do. We start right from the earth and we climb a ladder right to the special place beyond the heavens where there's a special spirit that lives there. The spirit that made it possible for us to be here and everything that we have mentioned. And so with the collectedness of our minds and hearts, we send a special thanksgiving and greeting to the Great Spirit of us all,